In this video, I wanted to give you my thoughts on the new lens guards for the Insta360 ONE R dual lens 360 mod. I'll be showing you what comes in the box, how easy they are to use, how robust they are, whether they'll degrade the image quality of your camera, and if I think they're worth you spending your money on. Coming right up. The lens guards for the 360 mod come in this box, and in the box you get two hard plastic lens guards which are pretty well made and quite robust. You also get a small pouch to carry both lens guards in. This pouch is split down the middle, which allows one lens guard to be placed either side, protecting them from each other. You also get a small leaflet with instructions for use on how to install the lens guards and how to remove them from the camera. The recommended way to install the lens guards is to insert the camera into its mounting bracket. Keep the mounting bracket open while you attach the lens guards using the metal shaft at the bottom of the mounting bracket first, to then click the top of the guard in onto the top of the mounting bracket. You do the same process on each side, and then once both are installed, you then close down the top of the mounting bracket as you would normally until it clicks into place. Once the lens guards are on, they're very secure and they're actually quite difficult to remove, so there's no risk of them falling off once they're in use. It's important to note that the lens guards aren't properly held on by the metal shafts at the bottom. You actually have to click them in at the top to ensure that they're in place. You'll also note that once they're on, the touchscreen is blocked quite considerably by the lens guards. It does stop you using some of the camera's functionality, but you can set auto rotate on the camera and turn the camera sideways, and then you can access the touchscreen more easily, but it is a limitation and a drawback to the lens guards. Removing the guards is a similar process. You have to undo the mounting bracket first, and it's recommended that you remove the camera before you take the guards off. This is to protect the camera from falling out and avoid damaging either the camera or the guards. It's also a useful feature that the guards stay on the mounting bracket without the camera inside, because it means you can change the battery easily without having to remove the lens guards each time. To take the lens guards off, you simply pull at the top of the mounting bracket where they connect on with the plastic connectors. I've actually had quite a lot of difficulty getting them off. I had to use a screwdriver on one occasion to just lift the plastic slightly to release it. So when you look at your footage with the lens guards attached, you'll notice that there's a dark line around the image. You need to click on the option within either the phone app or the studio software that says Stitch for Lens Guards. This will then remove that black line, though I have noticed on some of the clips that you can still notice that faint dark line. This is particularly when there's harsh light on one side of the camera. So when I'm mountain biking here, I'm going away from the sun, but the sun is on the left-hand side, and you can just see where that stitch line is and where it hasn't managed to stitch out the lens guard completely. And that brings us neatly on to image quality. Now, whenever you put any kind of lens protector on, it's going to result in a loss of image quality of some sort. With these lens guards, it varies depending on what kind of lighting conditions you're in. Most of my tests have been done in fairly harsh sunlight because it's been bright and sunny recently. On this static shot where I'm shooting in the shade, the image degradation is pretty minimal. You can't really tell that the lens guard is on, apart from the fact at the edge of the image there's a slight lack of clarity and detail where the stitching line is, and it does lose a little bit of the image where it's stitching for the lens guard. Whereas on these mountain biking shots where I'm riding directly towards the sun with the sun on the right hand side, and the camera was mounted on my helmet with one lens towards the sun and one lens away from the sun, just because of the orientation of the path I was riding on. it did mean that you get quite a lot of lens flare and a kind of dusty, hazy looking image on that right hand side facing the sun. Obviously it's going to be up to you as to what conditions you use these lens guards in. I do think that they are worth having for those occasions when you know that the camera is likely to get scratched or damaged if you don't have them on. Obviously I was riding along a canal towpath here and there were stones flicking up, so it was worth having them on, because if a stone flicks up and scratches or damages the lens, it's going to be a lot more expensive, and these are a cost-effective way of avoiding having to replace the whole camera lens unit. If you need to replace the 360 unit on its own, it's going to cost £179 or $199, so £30 or about $30 for the lens protectors is a wise investment in my opinion. I think I would use these in flat light conditions because they have virtually no degradation on image quality. I would think about it a lot more carefully when using it in sunshine because of the impact it does have on the image quality. You'll also notice that in some of the shots on the stitch line, it does actually stitch out parts of the image that you want kept. So this is something to be aware of when you're mounting the orientation of the camera, making sure that the key parts of the image that you want in frame aren't going to be affected by this. So I hope that's been helpful to see what you get with these lens guards, how easy they are to use, and also what the image quality degradation is like on them. Let me know if you've got them, let me know if you are thinking about getting them, or whether you think actually that it's not worth the money. Interested to hear other people's views on them. And if you're thinking about purchasing this camera or the lens protectors, do check out the affiliate links in the description below. If you do buy through those links, it does help me out and gives me a small commission to help making these videos, so thank you very much for that. I do think it's worth it. They're £30 and they do a job to protect your camera, particularly from things like tree branches and scratches. Please do drop a comment below, let me know if you've got them, if you're thinking about getting them, and if you've got any other questions about them. And hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.